Today's topic is about letting go or forgiveness. Forgiveness is a tricky topic as most people feel that forgiveness has to do with the other person and letting them off the hook. But I want to discuss the more important part, the bigger issue with regards to letting go or forgiveness, and that is the internal process. I want you to imagine that your heart is a plastic bag with nothing inside of it. Your normal emotions, all of that, doesn't really weigh anything. And if you walk around with this for months or years, you won't even know the difference. But as soon as somebody wronged you or you hold on to difficult emotions and so on in your life, it's like a potato that you put into your heart. So this is your heart. Maybe this is somebody said something that really hurt you. It goes into the heart. At work, you feel incompetent because of the way you are dealt with by a manager or whoever. It's another potato. And so we can carry on. Words that's been said, actions that's been taken against you. You've been wronged, not taken into account with certain decisions in your marriage, whatever the case might be. Now, your heart becomes full of potatoes or heavier with things that you hold on to. Now, this isn't really a problem if you look at it just like this, but walk around with this potatoes in your heart or this emotions that you're holding on to. Walk around with it for a day, a few hours even. You will feel that this becomes heavy. It's so heavy that in the end your arm feels as if it's going to fall off. How heavy do you usually feel when you're at a point where you're really hurt in a relationship or something big is happening to you and you start feeling resentful or you feel as if somebody did something towards you? You start feeling tired and as if you just want to sleep, as if you don't want to go on, you just feel tired. What happens after about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? This potato start to rot. It oozes and it stinks. What happens in your heart with things you hold on to is it starts to stink and ooze. The resentment, the bitterness, it starts to fester. Now imagine you walking around with this stink bag of potatoes throughout the year. People will not want to enter into relationships with you because you don't smell that good. People will see the baggage or you act towards people in a certain way because of this bag you're carrying with you. So the first step to forgiveness is to acknowledge and listen, yeah, I've got things in my heart that doesn't belong there. There's things hurting me as an individual. There's things weighing me down. There's things making me experience my life as bitter or experience my life with resentment, and it stinks. It has a negative impact on my relationships. And then, this is why we're doing this journal. This is why I'm teaching you the journaling exercises, is we need to take out this incident by incident, potato by potato, and experience, look at it. What has it done to me? How do I feel about it? And so on. And then start turning it around. And what do we do with these potatoes? We don't just take it out and put it somewhere or throw it in the dustbin. No. When it comes to letting go or forgiveness, the only place where you can go to is to lay these potatoes or the incidents or the hurts and the pains. Give it back to God. Because our main focus, your main focus is to see What's going on inside my heart? What is my heart full of? The Bible even says that beware of what is going on inside your heart, because that uh, paves the way of your life. It puts you in certain directions. You need to look at your heart more than anything else in life, because that is what makes you you and what has an impact on your relationships and everything. So if we look at it out of that way, forgiveness, yes, in a small way it has to do with the other person, but holding on to bitterness and resentment, it weighs you down. So after identifying it through the journaling activity, we need to lay this before God and say, Lord, this is in my heart. I got hurt. I'm really hurt. We need to talk to him like David used to talk to him, just opening up and just saying everything that he felt in detail. He used to really, in his own words, open up. We need to lay it before God, and he promised to empty the packet or clean our hearts. And as soon as we understand that you can have rotten potatoes in your heart or resentments and bitterness, and you understand how that has a negative impact on your thoughts and your emotions, then it's so much easier to start seeing that the other person may be acted in a way where they do not understand this very process. And it doesn't take the responsibility away from them, but it makes you understand them and look at them with grace and with love. And you do not have to allow people to walk over you again, or you do not have to allow people to do the same thing towards you, the same abuse or whatever. That doesn't mean that if you forgive them, you give them a get out of jail free card. It just means that you look at them out of a place of love and a safe place, instead of looking at them out of a place of fear. The Holy Spirit, as soon as there's forgiveness in your heart, the Holy Spirit comes and he gives you peace, peace that surpasses all understanding. And this is what letting go and forgiveness gives you. I want you to take your journal and to dot down all the people that's involved in the situation and that you need to forgive. I want you to write then, I forgive this person for, and go into detail to really get it out of your system and onto the page. But the most important part of letting go is being able to forgive ourselves. I want you to always, no matter what the situation is, no matter what topic you are journaling on, to always end off this activity by forgiving yourself. We are so extremely hard on ourselves, and most of the time we expect ourselves to be perfect, to not allow things to happen again, to not get ourselves into certain situations. We take more responsibility than we should, and sometimes not allowing ourselves any form of grace. I want you to write down, I forgive myself for, and go into detail. Because sometimes the only thing we are guilty of is loving another person so much that we give them more chances. Sometimes we have a big open heart to other people, a giving nature, and we tend to end up at the short end of the stick. But honestly, is it really that bad? I think that most of the time, the biggest concerns are the fact that we cannot forgive ourselves. So make sure that you do it.